Here. You can just hear it out there.
Wrong side, man.
Oh, shit, he's gonna stop. No, he's not.
It's not that phone.
Yeah, I know.
But
Since 1963, we've done things differently. We stone bake our dough.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. We're having a looks like we did move up in the London session. I was actually expecting a further move up or like a retest, but just by looking at this move up and the way this candle closed, I think first of all what happened here was that once this candle closed bullish on the 30-minute, people were expecting price to continue moving up and the next 30-minute candle. But the whole problem is that the 15-minute candle closed bearish, so that significantly reduced the chances of price going back up. So let's do this over here. Let's bring up, let's take a look at this. So let's take a look at this on the daily GPJPY. Let's remove all analysis and let's do some fresh analysis here. So the Gulag chat is also live here today. Hope you all are doing well here in the Gulag, stuck there, but it's all good. So daily candle is coming back to this area where it rejected before, right? So we rejected on the 14th, 15th, 17th, no, 19th, 20th, and then we're sort of like rejecting this area here again. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, 4 hours also coming up to this same rejection area where we rejected yesterday. So this was the 4-hour candle that we traded yesterday once it continued moving down, and now it's in the same rejection area here. So looking on the 1-hour time frame, 1 hour is basically still open. 1 hour is bearish at this point. It's also rejecting this resistance right here at 137. We're coming down, and if we do come down, I think it's going to come down towards 136 700, 136 680, because that's okay. Let's measure this range here first. This is a 14-15 pip range, so let's take a look at it on 30-minute time frame here. So 30-minute is printing side by side. And the only issue is that if this 30-minute candle closes bullish, then we're sort of in this range. And if we want to measure this range, this is a 20 pip range, so it's not enough. I would say a better range for me would be above 137, because if we can get above 137, then we have this entire area to fill, and it's basically a clean traffic area above 137. But within this range, it gets very difficult. So I'm going to be staying away from this area over here, and let's see if we can get something down over here. It's like 14-15 pips. So we're probably going to wait a little bit. Yeah, probably going to wait a little bit. Like the price action is not that clear, All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is. Ooh, entered buyers at the open of this candle, expecting the wick off to be filled. Got stopped out. Yes, because the 15-minute candle was bearish. So you wanted the next 15-minute candle to kind of close bullish, so you can take a trade to continue moving up. So it's what we say, like you want candles to close on your side. So that's why. Hey, I text you on Instagram about funded trader. You not reply. Suggest any good funded trader. I don't know any good funded traders. Funded traders are pretty hard to come by, honestly. All right, let's take a look at gold here for a little bit. Let's take a look at gold from the daily, right? So one good habit I think everyone should have is whenever you come to your charts, just clear everything, right? Remove all analysis and do just fresh. Okay. Yeah, do just fresh analysis here. So looking on the daily is coming up towards another resistance area here at 1931. Current daily candle is bullish. Looking down on the 4 hour, 4 hour is kind of like ranging at this point. It's also creating a support in an uptrend, right? So this is an uptrend. It's creating a support. This 4 hour candle tapped into 1923 back from 13th October. So let's take a look on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour is also in this range, right? So whenever you have candles printing side by side, just understand that's a range, and you want price to break out of that range. So it's in a tight range right over here as well. So if we break above 1921, we're looking left. We're looking left to see, okay, where can next price move on to based on a 1 hour time frame. So this is the area I see where price may come into like 1924, 1925 if we do break above here. Yeah, so there's going to be a bit of waiting over here today. I've traded other pairs before in the past without much consistency, so I've devoted all my energy to GJ. I'm down 3% overall. Do you recommend I go demo until I get some consistency? I think if you're down overall 3%, if you're only focused on one pair, I think you need to look at your losses. Take a look at your losses and try to see how could you have gotten the winning trade or the opposite trade. I say this every day, and very few people look at things this way. So if you take trades and you're losing trades, always look at your losing trades and see that, okay, how could you have been on the opposite side? Like what could you have done differently? How could you have seen things differently so you could have taken the correct trade? So that's something very important you should look into. It will help you a lot. Is there a correlation between GJ and gold because they look super similar? There isn't, but I would say sometimes it's coincidental that they look similar. Ted explained it really well yesterday on a live stream, so I think you might want to watch that recap there. Let's look at your JPY here, and if your JPY did continue moving up, oh no, it did not continue moving up. It started to do a retracement here. Let's remove all analysis. Let's go towards the daily. So daily candles coming down. Let's go towards the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour created a resistance around 124.800, and now we're coming down. We're possibly coming down to another support down at 124. But if we look on the 4 hour much more closely, we see that it's coming down into a rejection area here. So looking on the 1 hour time frame, yeah, I think a pretty good idea on your JPY would be for price to come up, create like a minor resistance, and then continue down to retest the low or wherever the low it's creating. Because it seems like as price is moving down, it's moving down into some sort of a rejection area. So it's going to be waiting here. Either we form support to break support to continue down, or we form support to do like some sort of a retracement and then continue down to retest the low. So I think a bias should be bearish here in this scenario. Hey, thank you for the stream. Can you please look at this chart? If we see the chart, then we're going to take a look at it. How would it be possible for you to handle a lot of people if you have a lot of them in the group? See, that's a skill in itself, So you need to have time, you need to devote time, you need to plan. So there are a lot of things you need to take into account. So yeah, at this point, there's nothing to do in GPJPY. Like, we're just arranging at this point. 15 minutes approaching like a minor resistance here, and yeah, I think it's just going to be a wait over here because we're forming support. We have a minor resistance here in 30-minute time frame, and then we have another resistance up over here. And that resistance, top resistance, is 11 pips away. So the range is not enough to take a trade over here. You going long if the candle closed bullish? No, there's no trade over here. I started a 50-pound account and took it to 200 in a week. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, what's this? This is a chart coming straight from the gulag. Oh, wrong chart. Come on, guys. Work with me here. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is London session price had a strong bullish move. All right, we had a strong bullish move in London session. Price tapped into 137, now creating zone, no trade zone, close above this area to take buys and sells below this area. I like this idea, you know. I like this idea. You've basically identified a range and you've identified what areas you would need price to break for price to move. So that's pretty good. So now we're planning ahead, right? At this point, I'm not like, you know, forcing any trades, nothing. I'm just waiting for price to break out of this range over here. To wait for price to break through these yellow lines, basically. You thinking of taking impulse trade? Probably not. So probably gonna wait over here. How not to fear to take a good trade? I think that the one thing you need to look into having no fear is to understand how much you're risking. Because if you don't know how much you're risking, you're always going to be afraid to lose the amount, right? But if you have a predetermined risk before you enter a trade, then there should be no hesitation, there should be no fear, because you're already accepting that, okay, if you take a certain trade, this is X is the amount that you're willing to lose, you know, so that's important. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GU 30-minute daily ceiling and weekly floor. Okay, strong bullish candles. If price breaks and gives me confirmations, we'll sell. If price breaks daily structure, all right. Let's take a look at GU over here and see what's going on. Your JPY, GU. Okay, so let's start from the daily here. Daily GU is approaching a resistance right at this point, which was also a support previously, you know, back on 24th August. So this is a very strong area GU is reaching into, right? Very strong support before, very strong resistance on the 12th October, first week of October. We're coming up here. Let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour is also coming up to this resistance area, which is really, really strong. Looking on the 1-hour time frame, 1 hour is also coming up to a very, very strong resistance. I think in this case, since we're reaching a very strong resistance and price is extremely bullish, I think a very, very good idea is going to be to actually wait for a support to form. Because if you can get a support formed, then it's not like you're going to be taking a counter trend trade from a very strong resistance, but you're going to be taking a continuation of the trend if we do break above this resistance to continue bullish. So I think waiting for support to be formed is going to put you in a much better position to enter a buy for price to continue up. Target, you know, that's something very interesting, because when we look to the left hand side and if we measure, let's say from above 1.30650, I mean your target could be 30820, like into the 30800 area, but then, you know, like it's GU, if the pound is strong and the dollar starts getting weaker during the New York session, it can continue moving bullish, right? So that's when you start saying that, okay, you know what, looking left, there are probably no zones or weak zones, but I'm willing to, like, you know, secure, let's say like 10 pips or 15 pips and letting positions run at break even. So that way you can have a runner running. But I would actually wait for price to create some sort of support with this candle closing and then trying to execute a buy for price to continue bullish. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator, and then we're going to take a look at Forex Factory here. So Chinese indicator is saying pound is really, really strong and the dollar is really, really weak. So just by looking at this technically, it would make sense for pound dollar and pound CAD to continue moving bullish. At the same time, it's saying pound JPY is strong, so that means it should be ranging. We are in a range, so, you know, no surprise over there. Let's take a look at Forex Factory here. because I want to take a look at these numbers here. So these numbers were actually pretty good. Public sector borrowing 3.5, 34, 35.4 billion, whatever. But rest numbers are pretty good. CPI was pretty good. PPI was pretty good. This was as expected. So it's also considered good. I think that's why pound is really strong at this point. So we have speech coming up later on, and we got CPI. We got CPI for CAD later on. Anyone know why the Vantage FX side is down? I'm not sure. Let me check over here. I haven't really checked Vantage FX. Oh, their website is down. Interesting. See, the last time when I had money in a brokerage and their website went down, that's when they said that the owner of that, well, it was a crypto exchange, Quadriga, yeah, man, and their website went down. After 2 days, I went back to the website and they said that the owner died. Owner died, and all the money, all the crypto, he had them in a ledger and he lost it. And that was the end of it, man. I had a nice change in there and it's all gone. And this Vantage site going down kind of reminds me of Quadriga.
I know you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
Time
man.
to start moving your money, Roger.
This is deja vu happening to me right now. Man, as soon as the website comes up, I'm doing a withdrawal. Like, that's it. I was actually waiting for the end of November to do a withdrawal, but yeah, I gotta get this out. I don't like it. I don't like how the website is down. Can you break down your GJ chart? I've just joined the stream. Well, how about you send a GJ chart on what you think is correct, and then we can take a look at it and give our criticism, right? Positive criticism. Why would you wait till the end of November? Well, because I wanted to see if I can really, really go hard on Vantage FX before the shutdown. But I guess the website is down, and that's kind of giving me the chills. So the website is using a security service to protect itself from online attacks. Oh, is that an excuse? Let's take a look over here. VantageFX.com. Yeah, so I guess we'll have to wait for tomorrow and see what happens.
And I don't know if it's related, but since like 3 days, the MT4 from Vantage has been like frozen, like big time.
Oh.
Big time.
Yeah, MT4, they kind of like... MT4 is pretty outdated.
Yeah.
MT5 was running fine because I was trading. Like, it's still opening fine right now. It's just like the website is down.
Mm. Yeah, get that money out of there, man.
Yeah. Does Black Bull have MT5? Yes. So what you gotta do is you gotta email them, and it's on special request. Raja, stop the stream and withdraw your money. Okay. How? The website is down. Yeah. What else can we do? Nothing. It's ranging here. Gold is also ranging. GU is also at this area over here. This candle's about to close. I think if this candle is closing, we're creating a support, like a minor support on GU right at this point. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. So this is waiting for price to break the support. If it breaks, I will be looking to take a sell to red line. Makes sense, makes sense. I love the stream, so thank you. For buyers, this candle has to close bullish. I'll take a low risk. I think you'll need to wait for buys above this yellow line over here because it's going to get pretty tricky at that point. Right? Yeah, you want it to close because the thing is, if this 30-minute candle closes below this area, this is going to be something like what happened yesterday, right? Right over here, where you had a resistance formed and this 30-minute candle closed below this area and the next one just dropped. So it's kind of like the same situation happening over here, that if this candle closes above this area, then it means it's closing above this resistance. And then there's high probability for price to continue up and break above 137, which is where we can start to take a trade going bullish, right? But if it closes below this area, something like over here, then it means it's rejecting this minor resistance. So it's really important for this price to close. Hey, you just showed your IP. That's fine, man. Come through. Honestly saying your best part of streaming is your analysis. That part we have to watch. I'm doing this from the last 1 year. My analysis becomes so accurately. Thanks. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, their client portal is working. Yeah, their client portal is working fine. But everything else is down. Down, down, down.
Hi, Raja.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, I was wondering, is not there any like regulatory authority within the countries who control the brokerages, like if they like it looks very risky. Like I was wondering if Vantage gets closed, and you are giving the reference of Quadrica. So there are no regulatory authorities who can control them.
Yeah, they have their own regulatory authorities, like in Australia, right? But I mean, how much are you going to control them? And at the same time, what happens is that if you read their terms and conditions, what they say is that the money you deposit, that money is deposited into segregated bank accounts, right? Which means that they're deposited into accounts which are separate from, like, you know, their own Vantage account. So it's supposed to be secure. But I'm not sure where the money goes when you're profiting. You know, are they going into the same segregated accounts, or are they just in some random cloud, you know? So I'm not sure how it works there in Australia. But at the same time, like, you know, it's the same time when you go with the bank. I mean, you just have to basically trust them. Okay, what's this? Futures Commission. Oh, it's a full return report from CFTC. Yeah, when brokerages are heavily regulated, like Oanda is heavy regulated, right? When brokerages are heavily regulated, that's where, like, you know, you see that there might be less leverage, they might offer less leverage, they might have higher spreads, you know, you might not be able to do certain things like hedge positions or like, you know, add positions to trades and stuff like that. But when you have brokers that are not heavily regulated, then you can get like, you know, higher leverage, you can get lower spreads, you can get faster execution, you can do hedging, you can open and close trades like whenever you want. So that's the price you pay a little bit. So it's like you're putting your security aside for a little bit to have these advantages. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this chart. This is GJ, 15-minute. Buys above this area to continue up. I don't think there's enough range over here. What are you looking for? 4 pip range? That's not enough range. Oh, it's actually like 14, 15 pips. But then you got 9 pips over here. Yeah, 7, 8 pips, not enough range. So you'll need price to break above 137. Hey, Raja, hi. Can you check this chart, please? What do you think? It's gonna go up or not? All right, let's take a look here. Oh. So this is, UK GBP. Yes, it's looking good. It's looking good so far. I think you should put your stops at break even and try to see. But if price starts forming like a resistance, then there's a high probability price may continue down. So you'll have to be very careful in that aspect. And it looks like GU is breaking up over here. We're creating that support to continue up. I think this next hour should continue pushing bullish on GU. Looking also on the 15-minute time frame, we're kind of like breaking above this area as well, 1.30580. So the candles without liquidity wicks, can you explain the probability of those types of candles? Like for example, the 30-minute had that type of candle but didn't fill the range, while 15-minute had filled it. I think Len Forex, I think instead of that explanation, I mean, that's a good question, but I think you also need to post a chart. You need to post a chart on which 30-minute you're talking about, on which pair you're talking about. So you need to send that chart. Because now if we start investigating, then we'll be moving away from the live stream to investigate what you just said, right? But if you post a chart, it's going to be easier because we can open the chart and we can take a look at it, and it'll be much more faster, quicker, and you know, it's going to be a much more better streamlined experience. Oh yeah, GU is going to continue moving over here. There will be no stopping GU. I think GU is going to continue moving. If GU is going to continue moving, that should roll into the pound moving as well. But I would need some sort of a confirmation, some sort of a support forming here at 137 to take a buy on the pound, JPY, and continue bullish. We are waiting. I think if this 1 hour candle breaks the previous 1 hour high, we might be going up. Well, I think we are moving up on GU. The only problem is this candle closed with no wick on the top. GJ also closed above, but also closed with no wick on the top. So I need to see some sort of another breakup, like a support formed, and then take buys to continue moving up. Hey, is there any reason why most pros like you don't use cTrader? No. Some some pros on cTrader don't use MetaTrader. You know, so it's all personal preference. What's the earliest time you're willing to execute on an idea in the morning? I know a big part of strategy, wait for volume. Yeah, sometimes, like, here's the thing, right? Sometimes there's going to be volume at 6 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes there's going to be volume at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. If there's no volume in those times, then basically you're looking at the next time when there's going to be volume, right? Your NY open, your NYC open. So those things you have to keep in mind, right? So if you look over here, these candles close with no wick on the top, which means there's no range for the next candle to go up. So when a candle closes with no wick on the top, there's a 50-50 chance that the next candle will either go up or it's going to go down. And you're not looking to execute on a 50-50 chance. You're looking to execute on a probability that's going to be in your favor. So if you look on GU here as well, it also closed with no wick on the top. Right, so now it's going to be better for price to come down, create support, and then continue moving up. Same thing here on GJ. GJ is basically in this range over here, so there's nothing to do. Nothing to do. Let's look at this chart here. This is waiting for price to break, close above 137. Looks good. Waiting for price to break and close below here for sells. It's pretty good. That is good, good, good. Good. Your biggest secret is to operate standing up. Yes, I think since I got this standing desk, you can look at Sacha down over there. He also has a standing desk. Since I got the standing desk, I've been more active. You know, I've been less tired. Like I wake up at like 5:45 in the morning or 5:30. I come to the standing desk and I'm just more active. Like when I'm standing. So I think that has helped me not overtrade. That has also helped me like not take, like impulse trades more or extra trades more because, as I'm standing, it's like I'm giving a speech. And I want to make sure the speech I give is the perfect speech every day. And that perfect speech involves in like, taking really good trades as well. So now for me to have that today, I have to wait for price to break above here, create support and continue up. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at this trade here. Same buy momentum and limit session, stress-free trading. Breakout candle over here. Bearish candle to retest the resistance broken right down over here. This is a 30-minute chart. Took impulse entry on the break of the high of the 30-minute candle. Oh, beautiful. Stop. Close bearish. Secured full position at 136.920. Somewhere up over here. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, this was a very, very good trade. Extremely good trade. Counted on the volume in the London session to move price up. Amazing. All right. Let's take a look at this chart here from the Gulag. All right. GJ, due to the volume coming in the time period I was taking and the way wicks were formed, I was in this trade, I secured 80%. Oh, beautiful. So you took a buyer right down over here. Buys value if candles close above. 4-hour bullish. Nice. So you secured positions. That's good. Let's take a look at this chart over here. So we have a range on the 15-minute. 30 candle rejected resistance. Sell stop at this. Executed here. Oh. Expected price to go down over here, but if we look on the 30-minute time frame, it was still ranging. 30-minute was still in a range, even though the 15-minute you expected it to break down here. But if you look on the 30-minute was still in a range. I mean, when this candle closed, even if you look on the 15-minute time frame, the 15-minute candle closed bullish right over here. So it was a very low probability. I think this was a very difficult trade to execute on. Gave my trade a second chance as he broke the low, lost again. See, now you have to create a rule, right? And my one rule is that if I'm going to give my trade a second chance, that second chance is not going to be on an impulse trade. Because when you're taking an impulse trades are they're risky trades to begin with, right? Because you're not waiting for confirmations and stuff like that. So if you're losing the first trade however way you're losing, right? And if you're waiting and you're trying to give your trade a second chance, give your second chance on a candle giving you a strong confirmation, not on an impulse trade, because that's going to be, you know, like a risky trade. So you don't want to give your trade a second chance on a risky trade. Give your trade a second chance on a much more stronger confirmation.
Raja, I never asked this question, but how is it that the wicks at the top or bottom of a candle creates that range? Like, I never understood that concept.
Where, like right over here?
Like, you know how you said that the very next candle, the bullish candle, you said that with no wick at the top, that means that there's no range for it to continue up. I know what that means, but can you explain that concept in a little bit more detail, just a little bit?
Oh yeah, basically when you have wicks forming, let's say like this right over here, right? You have a wick forming right here. And if there's volume in the market, there's a higher probability that price will continue up to fill this wick, right? Because wicks, basically candles leave wicks as breadcrumbs for the next candles to fill, right? So if you have a wick right over here, then we know that if we get a break above 137, there's a high probability price will continue up to fill this wick, and this is going to be a range. But when a candle is closing with no wick, this means there's no range for the next candle to fill. So at that point, it's basically probability, right? That if there's no wick on the top, what's the probability price will go up? So from what I've seen, there's a 50-50% chance.
Copy. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man, no worries. Would you consider an impulse trade buy if price breaks the high with no wick? Yes. I think I will be looking at that idea. Hey, good morning. First time on the Zoom. Please take a look at my GJ setup. All right. Let's take a look at this GJ setup. This is a big range due to a major 4-hour support level and strong at 136,400. This is GJ. Waiting for price to break above here to take buys and waiting for price to break below here. Oh, okay. You have a much lower sell zone, and I'm guessing it's a much safer sell zone too, below 136,300. Like right down over here. See now, buying area above 137 becomes much easy because there's less traffic here to the left hand side, right? Less traffic here. But selling area below 136, 830, 840 becomes a little difficult because you have even though like you have like a 22, 23 pip range, you have this wick over here and then you have some consolidation here to the left. So you're really anticipating, if price does break below 136, 820, 830, you're really anticipating it to just crash. You know, maybe give one confirmation and then just keep on crashing. Because if it moved up during consolidation, then it should move down with a nice swift move down. So that's something I'm anticipating actually. So let's see what happens here. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Buy when the candle closes when TP at. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Like you want a candle to close above like this. Next one you want it to close bearish, and the one after that you want it to close bullish, and then take a buy for price to continue up. That's actually pretty good visualization. And I do the same thing in the back of my mind. You know, whenever I'm looking for a trade, I'm picturing specific candles to form in a specific way so I can execute. And if that happens, man, oh, beautiful. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? This is perfect. Now I got to take that trade. So GU waiting at this point. Gold is ranging. Again, we're waiting at this point. Looking at GU here now. GU is rejecting that area, that candle closed with no wick on the top. So it's also kind of like waiting at this point to see what's going on. So there's waiting all around. It's waiting all around today. So we gotta wait. I have a question if you can see any way that this move could have been cashed in London. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is price made a high and formed new resistance. Candle respected resistance and closed below. Okay, anyway, we could have taken this trade. I think this trade was very well, the idea was given in the previous chart we saw here before. I can't find it here. But I think a good way would have been like, since we're in a London session and we're expecting price to move up, right? I think a better idea would have been to maybe an impulse entry as we broke above the high over here, because if we're moving in London session, we're expecting a lot of volume coming in. So I think that would have been the only way to catch it. But this was a little difficult, you know. So there's a lot to learn from this move. Maybe an impulse entry right over here, or maybe putting your trust in the candle like before it made this wick down, putting your trust that, okay, now if it starts breaking above this area, it should continue moving bullish. So this was difficult because you had to put your trust in the volume coming in London session to see, okay, it will actually continue moving up. So like, you know, you have to have that intuition that, okay, like, you know what, if there's going to be a lot of volume in London session, price is most likely to break through zones. It's most likely to, like, you know, retest zones and continue moving. So that's something you can take a note on. Yeah, or maybe we can look into the 15 minutes. So let's take a look here. Yeah, 15-minute was pretty difficult. The only thing I see is that maybe this 15-minute candle closed above this area and the next one did like a deeper retracement to continue up. That's the only thing I see. But it was difficult. It wasn't easy. It was difficult. So these are the things that happen over and over again, right? So this same situation is going to happen again. If not next week, maybe next month it's going to happen again. And if you are consciously, like, you know, reading it, studying it, and kind of like seeing, okay, how you could have, like, you know, capitalized on this move, then if the next time it happens, you may know how you're going to anticipate it and how it may work out, but you may not execute, right? But if it happens the third time, maybe the third time you're going to be ready to execute on that move. So that's the whole thing that takes time when you're waiting for things to set up. Because the first time it happens, you're kind of confused. You're not sure how you should play it. So you learn from it. You look at it. The second time it happens, you know what's going to happen, but you don't execute because you're still in that watching phase, right? The third time it happens or the fourth time it happens, then you're like actually ready to execute because seen it happen. And it's kind of like what happened yesterday. So if you look at the trade yesterday, we took these sells on GJ. These were taken right over here, right? And I've seen this setup happen a lot of times where price forms a support, candle breaks support, candle closes with a small body, and when the next one breaks the low, that's the entry point right over there. Once we broke the low, came down, and that was the trade we took yesterday. So these things I've seen happen before. But currently right now, price is ranging, so we're kind of like waiting at this point. Okay, this was the chart here. This was the chart. Took impulse entry on the break of the high of the 30-minute candle right over here. Moved stop loss below this after, yeah. So this was a chart. So this person here won the trade. Zhao. Oh, it was someone else's chart. Hey, would it have been a good idea to take a sell on the bullish 30-minute? It didn't close in our direction, but it closed at resistance with no wick. No, it would not have been a good idea because there's a 50-50 chance. And again, why would you want to execute on something that has a 50-50 chance? No. All right, we have some AU coming in. AUD-USD. If Bernard is here listening, he's going to be like, oh, who's talking about AUD? AUD-USD. High time frame bearish. Okay. So right now we're ranging over here. Option 1, look for a break above resistance to take a buy. Looks good. Or to take a sell if we start breaking below. That's perfect. That's a perfect situation to be in. Let's take a look here for a little bit, right? AUD-USD. Yeah, let's take a look. So we're basically at a resistance area here. And if we kind of like extend it to the left-hand side, this is the same resistance area right over here. And if we really need to break above this area, which is right here. We need to break above this area to come up to the next resistance, which is almost like 13, 14 pips away. I'm like 15 pips away, I'd say like somewhere right over here. But if you do start rejecting, then there's a very high probability we may continue down. And if we measure this range, This is a 18 pip range. I don't think it's enough range. Yeah, I don't think it's enough range. You would need a better range. Yeah, I think a better range is going to be on the 1 hour time frame right over here below 7710 down to 480. That's a 22 pip range, 23 pip range. So that's going to be much better. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is enter after breaking the high of the previous candle. I think this trade was a trend trade. That price came down, price made a low, price came up, created resistance to come down to retest the low. Right? I think that's what happened here on this trade. So I think it should have been sells instead of buys because we were in a downtrend, price made a low, price came up to create resistance, and whenever it creates a resistance there's a high probability for price to continue down to retest the low. So I think it was a sell over here, not a buy. I've been hearing that an edge doesn't last forever in the market. What are your thoughts? Does your strategy count as an edge since it's reading price action and candles? I think my strategy, there's no such thing as my strategy. My strategy is just reading candles. If you can read candles accurately, the candles are going to tell you stories where the next candles are going to go. Realistically, I'm not looking to catch 40 pips, 30 pips, 50 pips. I mean, I'd love to catch those every day, but realistically, I can only end the day with 15 pips, like consistently I can do that, 10 to 15 pips. And if I look at the candles and the way candles move, I think counting on the 30-minute candles or just one 1 hour candle or even one 30-minute candle, I can get my target for the day, right? If I can accurately if I can accurately predict where a certain 30-minute candle is going to go, looking at GPJPY, I know an average 30-minute candle on GJ is going to be around 10 to 15 pips, right? So if I can catch that one candle, I think I'm done for the day. Then done. Then there's no edge because we're just reading candles. And the thing about the market is the edge stays in the market because I believe that price action is moved by human perception, right? Like how we perceive the markets, how we perceive where price is going to go. And if you look at it from a fundamental perspective that, okay, like, what, if there are 100 people trading, right? If the market is moved by the perception of 100 people, and if 90 people are always losing, this means that those 90 people are doing the same things every day, which is why they're losing. So if the majority is doing the same thing and losing, that means the price will continue to make certain patterns over and over again, right? Because the majority always loses, do the same thing every day. So the market has to do the same things every day, unless we get to a point where, the majority starts winning. But I don't think that's going to ever happen because human greed is way strong than what we dream, like our greed is stronger than our dreams. If our dreams were stronger, we would be disciplined, but that's not the case. The greed is much stronger. So you have to fight your greed. Who the hell is talking in the background? No one. Please give your thoughts on EJ. Here is my idea. All right, let's take a look here. Mr. Jayan Patel. Jayan Patel has sent a EJ chart. Let's take a look here. All right, we made a low coming up. Yeah, I think you'll need to find some sort of a resistance at this point for price to continue down. Something like this on US 30, right? Price came up, formed resistance, came down. So I think something like that you'll have to wait to happen here. And if you do form resistance and price starts breaking resistance, then you can start to look for buys. But it's very important for you to wait to see how price acts to that area. After GJ broke support, the stop is at resistance. No, we don't know when it's going to break support. We don't know how it's going to break support. We don't know which candles are going to break support. Because if the next candle breaks and closes below here, then the stop is not above resistance, but the stop is going to be above the breakout candle. Does Magic Keys have a pip counter to show how many pips up or down you are while in a trade? That's a feature built in MetaTrader. The Brown Boys FX, I would kind of like advise you to maybe go through MetaTrader in more detail before you go purchase Magic Keys, because you need to understand MetaTrader way better. IMF admits China has overtaken the US as the world's largest economy. That is true. I was actually talking to someone and they were talking about like how China is going to be, like the yuan is going to get much more stronger than the US dollar, because the Chinese, they're not printing money to give people. They're a communist nation, you know, they don't care. They're not for that, you know. Only the US, the North America, only they're printing money. And the more money they're printing, the weaker it's going to get. And the Chinese know this. You know, so, I mean, I don't know, like that guy is a very big conspiracy theorist, and his whole idea was that he's going to start buying yuan because in the next 10 years, the US dollar is going to be worthless and cryptocurrency will rule the world, and China is going to be the biggest superpower. So I don't know how much of that is true, but we'll see what happens. All right, this is Euro New Zealand price in downtrend. Bearish candle, possible retest of the zone before continuing down. Yeah, it's a good idea, waiting for resistance to form for price to continue down. It's pretty good. Let's say you have a ranging day, would that make you more willing to look for overnight trades or not? Possibly not. Overnight trades, it depends how the Asian session sets up. You know, like last night I was also looking at the Asian session to take a potential trade to run overnight, but there was a lot of ranging. Looking on the 4-hour, it was a big mess. It was a big mess on the 4. I think the 4-hour kind of looked okay for price to continue up, but I didn't really trust it based on the 1-hour time frames here. So it's just like, yeah, not going to do it. So we'll see how tonight sets up. So does Magic Key work with cTrader? Yes. I've been to China in 2010 and it's nearly the same rate as now. So yeah, at this point, we're just waiting over here. Your JPY is also doing a little bit of a retracement. Gold is also coming up over here. It's coming up to a resistance at this point at 1921. So it's ranging basically. Yeah, this is a great big range. Perfectly splendid. Hey, I want to enter a sell on UJ at the pullback. Do you think the trend will continue? Let's take a look here. Do I think the trend will continue? Well, if gold is continuing bullish, oh wow, can't see anything here. Looking to enter a sell at the pullback. It's a 2-hour chart. Yeah, I think if you look on the small time frames, you're looking to enter a sell. You're looking for some confirmations, but that chart was way too zoomed out for me to actually read it anyway. I think this is the way you should read charts, because if you're looking at candlesticks, I mean, you should be able to see candlesticks clearly, right? Did you watch Haunting of Bly Manor? Yes. Man, Haunting of Bly Manor is a pretty good show. After like the 5th episode, I stopped watching it because now they're introducing too many variables. You know, it's just become a big mess. If you guys want to watch a horror story, watch Countdown, man. That thing was scary. That thing was so scary, I had to pause for 10 minutes and watch some comedy. You know, at night I was watching, like halfway through, after like, I'd be like, yeah, no, we got to stop. So we stopped the movie, started watching some comedy, stand-up comedy for 10 minutes, and then we resumed the movie. We're like, all right, let's go back. Let's see what happens next. But yeah, it was pretty scary. Alright. Oh, it looks like Mr. Bobo. Mr. Bobo is live here.
Help get the nutrients you need, made with whole grains, fiber, and real ingredients. For when you're ready to prove it. Special K.
As we build back better. To South London with Janet Davey. Janet Davey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can the Prime Minister confirm that his government is seeking to force the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, to remove free travel for under 18s and for holders of the 60-plus travel card in return for further financial support for TfL to keep the tubes and buses running? How can this be right when many people in London, and indeed in my constituency, already have months of genuine hardship ahead of them?
You should call Boris Johnson and tell him to do this during Asian session, you know. Don't mess with New York session.
Yeah. Sir, can you please do these speeches in Asian sessions?
Yeah, man. I mean, on Monday, I got stopped out 2 times on GG. The setup was perfect. This crazy head is, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I think this 30-minute candle is closing below this area over here. If it does close below, I think there's a potential for it to continue bearish. But the setup on GJ price action is really, really difficult today. I don't like the sells, so I'm going to be very cautious of taking sells. Let's take a look at this chart coming from the gulag here. Oh, okay, you didn't take the trade. Yeah, we're ranging at this point. I thought someone took the trade. Took the buy over there when the candle closed bullish. What's this? What should I focus more on? The clean traffic or the consolidation to the left? I think the consolidation, and then you should look at how this price moved up. It moved up in London session. I don't think many people like really do proper investigations. I don't think many people do that. You guys don't do proper investigations. Like, instead of looking at this chart and asking what should I mostly focus on, where's that? You should start to see that, okay, when did this consolidation happen and when did this move up happen? Was this consolidation happening at market open? Was there a lot of volume in the market? Was the market dead at that time? Was the market closed at that time? Why was this consolidation happen? And if that consolidation happened over here, why did we have a move up? Right? Was this high volume session? Was this news? I know this was London Open. So those are things you need to start looking into. Why? Why is this happening? Instead of asking, what should I mostly focus on? You know, so if you know why does this consolidation happen, then you're going to be like, okay, like, you know what? Maybe if this was time of volume, I shouldn't be focusing on over here because this consolidation maybe happened when there was no volume in the market. Right? So those are little things you need to look into. Like if we're looking at price right now, we know that we had a volume in London session and then price is just ranging, you know, and we're consolidating. We consolidated through pre-New York. We're moving into New York Open. If we start consolidating moving into New York Open, then maybe there's going to be volume at NYC Open. So those things, those investigations are very important. I think we all need to do those investigations, looking left and seeing like why price did what it did, you know, and how today is a little different. If you enter a trade right on a 30-minute open, it moves some pips and then comes back to your entry in less than 5 minutes. Do you still close 50%? Or you give it some time since it just opened? It depends. It depends where it's opening, depends if we're in a trend, depends where the 4 hour is. Like, it depends on a lot of factors, you know, like a lot of ifs and buts are there. But, I mean, if this candle closes bearish and the next one starts moving down and starts retracing, then probably it depends how many pips it moves into, right? If it moves into like 6 pips, 7 pips, then it might be closing 50%, you know. So there are a lot of variables involved. If you look on a 30-minute, it's also closed at this support over here. No indication it's going to go down. I mean, if this drops down, then it is what it is, missed the trade, but there's no confirmation for buys. There's no confirmation for sells. Like nothing. Garbage. Do you trade ranges above a certain amount of pips? Yes, like, you know, like 20, 25 pip and above. It's pretty good. What is NYC open and what does it mean? It's not NYC, it's NYSE. New York Stock Exchange open. It's the New York Stock Exchange that opens at 9:30 a.m. Hi, sir. Would love to hear your thoughts on AUD New Zealand. My thoughts on AUD New Zealand are don't trade AUD New Zealand in a session where both currencies are closed. It doesn't really help because if you look at it, the Australian dollar is closed at this point. The New Zealand dollar is also closed at this point. It's like going to a strip club at 1 p.m. in the afternoon when everything's closed, you know. Doesn't make any sense. So why trade a pair which is closed at this time and it doesn't make any sense, right?
I haven't got there at that time.
You'll get all the ugly ones.
It's always fun.
There's always one.
It's always fun, man. Trust.
Looks like he had a lot of fun yesterday night, Raja.
Who? Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was walking through Walmart, documenting everything, and then I realized I didn't even have my mask on. I'm like, oh, shit, no mask. Okay.
I can imagine the kind of night for a late night snack pickup.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of what they call Walmartians? There's a lot of people, weird people, going to Walmart, you know.
Oh, the people
crazy
of
clubs.
Oh, the people of Walmart.
Yeah, Walmartians, man, it's crazy
Oh.
stuff. But it's always fun.
Hey, I work at Walmart.
Man, most times people who go to them Walmart, they don't even care what they wear. They're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Considering sell position, any tips? All right. Let's take a look here. AUD USD 4-hour overall bearish trend channel, currently at upper level of channel, looking to sell, waiting for candle confirmation. Fib level shows golden ratio. Okay. Let's take a look over here. I think a better sell is going to be below this area here for price to continue down. This is what, 7,700? Yeah. Hey, Raja, for sells, would we have to wait for price to close below support and then enter once the low of previous candle is broken? I think that's what I'm waiting for. I think also I don't know, I might be looking for an impulse entry. If we break the low over here, having to stop above this current candle for price to continue down. And really anticipating volume coming into NY Open to push price through all this madness over here. Because this is an area of interest over here which I don't like, and then you have another minor support here which I don't like, and then you have the major area here from where price moved up in London session. So we'll see how this plays out. I think the earth is flat. Anyone else? Yeah, I think so too, but I tend to keep my ideas to myself because there are a lot of illiterate people there who think the earth is round. So, you know, you can't fight stupid. right? I think the Antarctica, the Antarctica is the edge of the earth, and this is where the Illuminati are. This is where all the Tupac and all those guys are, you know, because they're stopping people from falling from the edge of the earth. Which is why you can't go there, man. The only people who can go to Antarctica are the scientists and the Illuminati. That's it. There's no one else can go to Antarctica. And even if you want to go to Antarctica, it's going to cost you $60,000. Because you got to fly, you can take specialized ships and all that jazz. I mean, who's got 60 grand to go to Antarctica, right? For what?
Ted has it.
Yeah. Ted's gonna go.
It doesn't cost 60.
He already went there.
Yeah, man, it does. I was looking into it. Here, I'll show you.
60 grand. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Look at these expeditions. Okay, so 12,000 is the minimum.
Okay, that's better.
60,000 in first class or what?
Yeah, 60,000. Someone carries you.
Yeah.
Look, the first question is it worth to go to Antarctica? Is it even worthwhile for that expedition?
$60,000. Don't show up.
Where did I read the 60,000?
I think you're talking about like the was it the mountain expedition from Nepal? When you go up there, what's the mountain? The Himalayas, right?
Oh, the Mount Everest there.
Mount Everest, yeah. I think that's the one you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the one that's expensive because they got to take you up there and everything.
They have different packages.
Yes.
Expecting price to go up based on a 30-minute close back in the range. I would say it's a little risky. I would also, if I was watching this, I would maybe want to wait for a minor resistance to be formed for price to come down to retest the low. That's what I would do personally. Why does Antarctica have no COVID cases? Because the scientists, they live over there.
It was a joke there.
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty good, Harry. Well done. That's pretty good.
Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, you see this? You see this video? In 1960s, if you showed people this video, they would say, "Oh yeah, man went to the moon, amazing." But now when we see it, we're like, "Yeah, no, you know what? This is a big joke. It didn't really happen at all." Look at him trotting and hopping around in the moon.
You guys don't think there's a flag up there?
No, man, the flag was blowing in the wind. What kind of wind is there on the moon? I think if people went to the moon, people would be going to the moon right now. You know, if they went to the moon in 1960s, they would have been going to the moon right now, especially when technology is making so many advances. I mean, every year iPhone is making a new iPhone. You know, so much technology out there. So, I mean, they should have went to the moon by now, too. I mean, Russia would be going to the moon every year. China would be going to the moon. The US would have had a security bunker built on the moon that if this virus hit, they could move everyone important to the moon and just convey messages from the moon. Because, hey, we're safe. in the moon because there's no virus in the moon.
So Raja, I got a question for you. What about, like, you know how we created the SR-71 and we was doing hypersonic travel? It's like, I feel like in the 1960s we were making way more progress due to less regulation than we do today. I feel like the progress that we make today it's extensive, but it's way more regulated than it was back then. Because back then they used to do all type of different fuel intake systems to get us out there, but it would destroy the ozone layer and it would do a whole bunch of global problems, I guess you could say. So I guess that's why they stopped doing all of the major, innovations that really didn't, take into consideration, people's lives and people on the ground and stuff.
Yeah, I've actually thought a lot about it, right? And I've thought it about from perspective of like a company, right? So let's say you start a new company. You're very honest and open and transparent with your employees. You tell them everything. And then a point comes where you realize that all this information that you're giving your employees, they shouldn't really know this information. It doesn't really make a difference, right? So what I think is that back then, when they were like really open about all the technological advances and all these new and awesome things they were doing, they were telling it to everybody, oh, the American people have to know and this and that. But then I think a time came when they were like, okay, like, you know what? The public doesn't really need to know this. Oh, we got Dwayne Brown here. So I think there's a lot that we don't know, which is happening behind the scenes, because someone's chosen not to let people know certain, certain information.
That makes sense too. A lot too.
Yeah. Because now the only things we know are the ones shown on TV, and back then it was the same thing. Man went to the moon, you saw it on TV. Important things. Now all the important things you see on TV are riots and, some dumb stuff happening left and right. Nothing really that engages your, intellectual levels that you can like look at it and say, oh, wow, that's very interesting. Like the only thing you see on TV now is like, oh man, like that's so sad. Oh, why is this supposed to happen? This guy's like this, like that. So I don't know. I think the TV involves a lot of drama now. And like, I think 20 years ago, there was a lot of more intellectual information on TV than what it is there now. If the moon was round, why wouldn't the world be? Well, I'm not going to argue on why the earth is flat and round. Oh, what's this? 30-minute closing bullish with a small body? The small body, that means no volume to go up again. Right or not right? Oh, right or not right? Right or not, sir? All right, let's take a look at that on the 30-minute time frame. So 15-minute is kind of like not so pretty. Looking on the 30-minute, we see some more information over here. So basically on the 30-minute, you want to see some sort of a rejection over here, or maybe once we start breaking the lows, for price to continue down. But if you do start forming a resistance on the 30-minute, and then, now here's the thing, here's how I think price should continue moving up, that we should form some sort of a resistance in this zone, and either that resistance gets rejected and we start coming down to retest the low, or if that resistance starts getting broken up to continue up. I think that's where you should take your buys, when we form resistance and then we start breaking the resistance to continue moving bullish. Hey, I take a trade and hit my stop loss. Any thoughts for a better setup? All right, you enter a sell after previous 30-minute candle closed strong bearish and below all the previous candles. You took a sell right over here. Let's take a look at this on the 15-minute time frame. So I think your sell was right here on the 6:30 a.m. candle. So looking on the 15-minute time frame, Yeah, I don't think the 15-minute candle closed in a way that could tell you it's going to be a good sell. Oh, that was GA? Where is it? Oh, that was GA. All right. Let's take a look here. Because we have to look at smaller time frames as well, right? So GBP, AUD. So it's taken right over here at the 6:30 AM candle. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. I'd say it looked good. I think at this point you had candles closing below and there was a probability for this candle to continue down. But I think even if you lost this trade, I think now you need to look to see if you really managed your risk or not. I think with this candle closing bullish, the 15-minute candle closing bullish, I think at that point you could have managed your risk. So sometimes, it's just a probability of price not playing out, but instead of having a stop loss hit over there, you need to start looking into how could you have reduced your risk. So I think that's how you could reduce your risk. When this candle closed bullish, you could have closed 50%, and the rest when it hit your stop loss, instead of losing 100% stop loss, you would have lost like maybe 60 to 70% of your stop loss. What's this? I often miss trades because I'm too careful. Do you think that will cause the problem when learning Forex becoming profitable? I think when you're too careful, that's also a problem. And when you're not too careful, that's also a problem, right? But when you're too careful and you're missing moves, now I'm going to repeat something I've been saying for a very long time. When you're missing moves, always look to see how could you have entered that trade. And do it every day. Every day start to look at moves. Not sure what Kervin is whispering, but he's whispering something.
It's the macaw.
Low-key, I'm calling EJ.
Oh,
Yeah,
EJ
EJ
sells?
looks good for a short, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna head down to retest this low now. It broke below the low here.
Yeah,
should
very
continue
nice.
You can't be afraid to take a trade, but you got to be smart enough to know when to stay out. Yes, I'm staying out at this point. Please take a look at this trade. Let's take a look at this trade. Oh, West Texas Oil. Place the second sell here. Yeah, I think it should continue. I don't know much about oil, so I can't really guide you on that. Based on price action, I think it should continue bearish. I mean, oil inventories are later on. Still got a lot of time till oil inventories. Oh, look at this move here in EJ. Very nice selling move here. So see, there were no buys on EJ. We identified it as sells. It's kind of like the right over here, right? See this? You were looking for buys, but price made a low for price to continue down to retest this low, and this is what's happening over here. New and still getting through your material. Could you see this idea for buy and sells? Let's take a look at this. This is GJ. You're looking for buys above this area here. Same thing as me. You're looking for sells below this area here. Same thing as me. So yeah, I'm looking at the same things over here. For price to either break below here or break above here.
It looks like gold is dropping.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Well, what do you think about this, Kerwin? If we retest 1910 to then continue up, it's a little risky, right?
Which one is the one you're looking?
Gold, dude.
Oh, gold. Raja says, I'm coming right back. And now the chart is moving, so I wasn't sure if you were manipulating Raja.
Oh no, how am I supposed to do that? Is he still here? No, he left.
No, he left now. So yeah, basically, I mean, this push on gold to 1924. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this heavy move to the upside. U.S. dollar is losing strength, but prior New York session, we always see some sort of heavy pullbacks on gold. So just be careful with that support. If that support doesn't hold strong enough from 1915, you may see a heavy you may see a heavy drop toward I will say 1910. You know.
Yeah, this is the level that I have here, 1910. So what I'm kind of expecting before, I mean, at 8 a.m. It's the drop down here, wick down, and then continuing up.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I've been looking for a retracement prior New York session around 1910. If we start rejecting that area, let me see if I can. Because usually gold tends to pull back heavy prior.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because it's about
coming from a bullish run from London. You always are gonna see these heavy pullbacks on gold. Problem is, I don't. If you look back, if you back test gold, you will see that on a London run, you're gonna have this correction to the price during New York session. You barely are gonna have a heavy run London, New York, and continue. So basically, I'll be looking for some sort of retest to this area, reject. If we're gonna continue going up, we're gonna have something like this. I'll be looking for some rejections.
Right. That's what I was looking at, like this area. See how it pulled up, then it retraced back.
Yeah.
But not that big of a retracement that it created support for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Something like this maybe,
Yeah. Because what's happened is we're creating higher lows and higher highs,
Right.
So this is already in a bullish run, but as long we don't break below 1910, we're good to continue going up. Other than that, I'm not gonna take any trades where gold is right now. Basically, I rather look for some sort of rejection this area. If we create support and candles start forming around 8:30 around this area, candles going bullish, and you may get a quick entry somewhere above this area right here. When you cross there, you're gonna have basically 40 pips, really good, going to this pin right here.
Gotcha.
But just be careful with 1924 is a strong zone. Just be careful with that.
Yeah, I noticed yesterday when I had buys on Asian to get this wick here. So I bought around 1912, and I closed around 1916.
Okay.
Because it got to here, and then it retraced all the way back, and then this 30-minute, 1 hour, it just popped all the way up. I don't know. It's just hard to trade gold.
Yeah, but if you look left, you're gonna see the 1924 is strong. So be careful. I'll say any buys going to 1924. Other than that, if we break 1924, it's gonna be a good move toward 1930, somewhere there. But for today, I'll be looking for any pullback on gold before taking any trade.
So you were looking for you'll be looking for sales first.
No,
You'll wait
no
for the
sales.
pullback.
Not sells not because this daily is already bullish. This daily candle already broke the previous daily candle. So I'm not looking for sales at this point because gold is wild. We know that, and we may look for some sales. But what about if you have a heavy, nasty push toward the upside? It's basically playing with fire, taking sales on gold.
Right.
Yeah.
No bueno.
No bueno. Basically, I've been looking. Let me see. If you see candles forming like this, any candle forming like this with rejection to this area right here, you may have a nice push in this area right here.
That's a pretty good looking candle.
Yeah.
So no sales then. It's
No sales
completely
for
off. Okay. Oh, the boss is back.
I'm not the boss, man.
You're the boss.
I'm just a servant of the community here.
Okay, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm the community's servant. People send me charts. I look at their charts, man. Should I stop trading like about 2-3 months? Focus on your course first because I can only consistently make money during July and August, and after that I start greed and lost direction. I think what you need to do is just go through the course. On the 8th November we're gonna have a like a bigger webinar with a little bit of advanced concept. I think the first thing you need to do now, we have like around 2 months left for this year to end. Focus on one trade a day. Even if you're not taking the trade on a live account, focus on just one paper trade a day and really start to see if you can really start learning from that as well or not. Because realistically, I mean, a month has 21 trading days, right? Excluding the weekends. And 1 month, 21 days, that's around like 21 trades. Let's say some days you don't find any trades. So that's like 18 trades, right? Month 2, it's like around 36 trades. So then you're going to have 36 trades that you've taken. And then you can start to look to see that, okay, out of those 36 trades, which ones were profitable. If you had profitable trades, you're going to start to understand that, okay, like, you know what, all these profitable trades, they kind of had the same market structure. They kind of like played out the same way. All the losing trades, trust me, this works. All the losing trades, you're going to find out that the losing trades were all random trades, right? Like you entered a trade, sometimes, there's going to be a probability of a trade not working out. Sometimes there's going to be a fake out. Sometimes the price is going to grab a little deeper liquidity than you thought it would. So those things you're going to start understanding about yourself and the way you're trading and the way price is moving. So I think that's going to be very, very important. They just focus on one trade a day, 2 trades a day. I mean, that's secret sauce. 1-2 trades a day, that's really the secret sauce. Do you like an impulsive sell on GJ below 136,800? No. Since it's ranging, I would want to see a candle break and close above or below. Yeah, it's a very strong range, so I want the candle to close above or below, not an impulse trade over here. Looks like your JPY will continue down. It's going to continue down to fill this wick at 124. What's this, 200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
That's a good idea for sells here. Ooh, gotta take out the garbage.
Lies.
He drives a
You're
normal
looking
truck.
at the neighbor.
He drives a normal truck.
Look and see if someone's watching me through the window.
Mama, you be doing the same.
Is Raja in a trade? Is he in a trade? Yeah, trading. I think 80% is just not being in a trade. That's what trading is. Oh wow, 160 per month? That's a lot. 160 per month. Like, imagine I charged 160 per month for these live streams. Damn.
What will be my cut?
Hey, you'd make 30,000 a month.
Easy. 30,000 a month just for being here. And then
Would you start a trading account with a few $100s and with a okay, let me read this English over here. Would you start a trading account with a few $100 and weekly, or start account with funding talent instead to jump start with a higher account? See, if I have $100 to my name, and if I spend, let's say, $500 or $600 on a funding account to be able to trade a larger amount, if I can't trade $100 or $200, what makes me think that I'm going to be able to trade a bigger funding account challenge, you know, like a funding account? There's no way it's going to happen. It's tried and tested. I've spoken to a lot of people, you know, and they've all failed. I mean, majority of the failures happen because people who can't even trade a smaller account, they jump to a funding account and then they fail that, you know, and they're like, oh man, I'm failing this big account. I don't know what's going on. What's going on is because you've never seen that amount live with you. That's the whole problem. You know, when you have a $100 account, $200 account, your drawdowns are $10, you know, $40. If you're over risking, it's $50, $60. But if you have a $25,000 account, your drawdowns are $1,000, you know, $1,500, and that affects you a lot. So I think you really need to prove to yourself that you can be consistent and then go to a funding account. And then that's going to work a lot more better, right? But if you're, it's like saying, hey, I'm trying to swing. I'm trying to swim. Let me jump in the deep end and let's see if I can like really swim to the other end. Sometimes you're gonna make it. Most times you're gonna be thrown like those rings. We used to call them tires back home.
Oh, you played with those things?
Yeah.
Oh man, me too.
Yeah, we used to have tires.
the
Book. Nice.
yeah, the inner tubes.
Mm. Yeah, the tubes.
That's right. That's how I got to. That's how I got to America from Cuba.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, hey.
Look at this. Your GPY is about to plummet over here to fill this weight.
Yeah.
My brother.
220.
Say
Yeah.
it. Very nice.
Very nice.
This, if it continues down, that's going to be the bonus move for everyone who's holding a sell from up over here.
I am.
Yeah, but someone who's trying to enter over here, I think it's going to be a little risky because of this area right here. That's the only reason. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is range, price to break above or price to break below. Yes, the price action is really difficult on GJ today. Yesterday was really easy and today it's really difficult.
Well, yesterday you made it look easy. It wasn't easy yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Oh, what's happening with Sacha? Is Sacha okay?
What's happening?
Yeah. Since GG was ranging, I decided to go do a little training.
Oh.
Provide me to jump into an impulse with a move.
He came back huffing and puffing and sweating. What the hell happened to him?
I wanted to see the opening 8 o'clock candle.
That's why I got elastic bands here.
Yeah, I've got one of those too, man.
Yeah, you go here. You start doing
Yeah, I got the
bicep
full
curls.
kit upstairs also. Elastic is pretty good.
I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
You just gotta press on them.
You can be hard as you want.
All right.
Imagine you break it, it snaps in your face.
Let's take a look at
That's
this chart over
gonna
here.
hurt.
Oh, wrong chart. Wrong chart from the gulag. Do you always wait for a break and retest on a range? Yes. When price is ranging, you have to wait for price to break above or below, and then to see where price is going to go. Because the beautiful thing about this is now it's been ranging for a while here, right? If we measure this, it's been ranging for about 5 hours here. So the longer the range, the bigger the breakout. So we have this recent resistance formed, recent support formed. If we break above here, we know we might end up coming up to 137,200. If we break below this area, then we know there's going to be a possibility for price to fall down. Right, so at this point, we're just kind of like, well, I'm just waiting over here. Someone is saying GJ is a strong sell. Someone is saying GJ is a strong buy. So that way, you know that there's a lot of confusion because people can't make up their mind. Was there enough range in EJ sell? Let's take a look here. It was a very tight range. It was extremely tight. It wasn't that big at all. I mean, even if you took a sell from up over here, 124, 315, it was barely 10, 12 pips. So let's measure this here. Yeah, barely 10. And then, I mean, you're probably at like 5 pip profit, 6 pip profit. It wasn't enough range over there. Hey, Raja, can you see my messages? Apparently, yes. Man, this setup on EJ is something I look for on GJ. Price comes down, comes up, creates a high, and comes down to retest the low. Same thing happened when price goes up. You know, price comes up, makes a high, comes down, creates support, and comes up back up. So that's the setup I look for GBJPY all the time.
So that means you took that EJ sell?
No, I didn't.
Sadly, because it's gonna drop 5 more pips then.
Oh, too bright.
I'm already a break even on EJ.
I mean, if it does drop, it should continue till 124, 100, and 124 even.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a trader who just passed the... Oh man, I'm done talking about FTMO. Do you enter when a body closes above the resistance or under the support? They're two different ideas. If a body closes above resistance or it closes below support, they're two different ideas. So both work, you know. Just have to wait. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is Euro New Zealand. Oh, kind of like the same setup on Euro JPY for price to continue moving down. I think if it does continue moving down, which is here, I think it's correcting the bullish move we had for the past 2 days. The only reason I'm against funding accounts is that because we have mentors out there who are basically doing funding accounts, and it's as if showing people that I don't know, man. I mean, when you have mentors doing funding accounts, how can you be a mentor when you don't have your own capital to trade and you need a funding company to fund you money to trade? Just doesn't make any sense in my mind. Doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, if you weren't able to break the barrier of trade your own funds and live profitably off of that, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm not throwing out any names, but it just, to me, it just blows my mind. I mean, it's just crazy. Just insane. I think we should all have enough balls to just trade our own money and then prove people that, hey, you know, I broke the cycle, I can do it. So, yeah.
Yes.
I agree on that.
I mean, if you're a student and you're looking for funding account, yeah, that's all well and good. But if people are paying you money to teach them to trade and you don't even trade your own funds, it just... I don't know, man. There's a lot of shadiness over there. I mean, I've been in this industry for a very long time and I've seen a lot of stuff pass by. All right, let's check out this trader. Oh, looks like your JPY is going to continue moving bearish here. I feel like there's going to be a big push coming down and we'll be like, whoa, EJ, whoa. All right, someone's got a bullish bias on GJ. Let's take a look here. Price formed a support, fake out. You're expecting price to form another support here to continue moving up. I think we'll need to break above this resistance to continue moving up. It's risk-free money. They do that to put money in the real account. No, that's just an excuse because you don't have enough money to trade your own account. That's an excuse. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Do you recommend for someone to student with profitable in a 200 euro account for 6 months to a funded account? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like if you think you're profitable, it's the same thing goes to when someone asks me like, when should I deposit more money, right? You should always look into deposit money if you know you're profitable. Like after I went through my losing streak and when I started to see that I was getting some sort of profitability, I was trading a $5,000 account. And after being like, 2.5 months of having consistently making like, I don't know, like 150 a day, 200 a day, I deposited 10,000 more because that was the way I funded myself, so I put in more money and then I traded that and then, things start to go good. But that's the way, like if you can find consistency, that's the only way you should add more money to your account because now, you're consistently making gains. You want to make more gains, you add money to your account. Or like, if you're making gains on a smaller account and you want to go towards the funding route, then you can do that too. But I think, yeah, so you need to be consistent first. So GBJPY is still ranging over here. How far should I look for support resistance and what should I look for in a basic way? Thank you. I think you need to send a chart and then we can take a look at the chart and then give you an idea on like, what you could do better. Your guest, Hannah Forex, does exactly the same. I did not have a guest, Hannah Forex, ever. I think someone's getting wrong information. All right, let's take a look at this gold. Let's take a look at this gold. Gold trade, waiting for break and retest for price to break down. Yeah, we're at the support level. Strong support level 1915. Okay, let's take a look at this chart. This is Euro New Zealand. I think this also went bearish. Okay, we got resistance formed in a 30-minute time frame. Price made a low. I think this should have been entry right here for price to continue down. Or if this stop loss was way too big, I think a better stop loss could have been looking at the 15-minute as well. But now we're expecting price to continue bearish and break this low. I think the same thing's happening on Euro JPY here too. We're moving bearish and statistically we should continue breaking down and come towards this. I'd say first target should be down over here. I started with $200. After knowing I can be consistently disciplined, I deposited $1,000. Oh, nice. Yeah, consistently disciplined is more important than consistently profitable. I think that's a good, oh man, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that line. It's more important to be consistently disciplined than to be consistently profitable. I think Mac is the other way around. He's consistently profitable but not consistently disciplined. Man trades every session. He's on London session and then yawning in New York session.
No. I was gonna hop in for G-Vans, but I'm like, nah, I don't trade London anymore.
Till next week.
I went from 3 sessions to 2 and 1, and I'm just a 1. But I am unprofitable more, It's just about the discipline. It meant that I was in London session yawning. Nah.
You're killing yourself.
Yeah. Imagine doing that.
Oh, someone is blowing your cover here in the gulag. They're like, Mac is also very active in this capital hungry banter chat. This guy's everywhere, man.
I'm not in capital hungry.
He's in Monty's chat, Capital Hungry.
He's on Instagram following everybody.
Every Forex chat is there.
Influencer.
Wow. Mac, low-key, you can be an influencer, man. Trust me.
Yeah. He's Michelle Branch of Forex. He's everywhere.
I'm just
you know that song?
I'm just
you should look up that song. Look up that song, Mac.
What's it called?
Michelle Branch Everywhere.
Michelle Branch Everywhere.
Yeah, don't play it here on the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna read the lyrics.
There you go.
Turn that inside out so I can see the part you was drifting over me. When I wake you, you're never there.
Mac is in the Forex streets.
when I sleep, you're everywhere. You're everywhere.
Hey, what's your thoughts on this? It's from yesterday, an earlier entry than yours. All right, let's take a look here. Usually we don't look at charts from yesterday, but okay, I think it's pretty good. You entered over here as soon as you closed half and the price went up and let the rest run. You had the runner running and it closed pretty nice. Is the entry okay? I think the entry is fine. I think you should have had more trust in the candles to let price play out. I think you also need to look at the 30-minute more to have enough confidence to let the whole thing play out. Ooh, looks like your JPY is rejecting this area here. Very slow day today. And I'm 100% sure as soon as we end the stream at like around 9, we'll try to trick the market makers. It will go to like 9:30. I just want to know where it's going to break out. 4-hour candle is about to close, and it's closing in this huge rejection zone. I mean, this is a problem, right? This whole area here, let me just highlight this area with the red translucent object here. Yeah. So this whole area, this is where daily has been. This is what Ted was talking about this area yesterday too. Like dailies have been rejecting this area a lot. So I think for the daily candles to continue bullish towards 137.800, we'll want this with this daily candle to remain bullish, and then we'd want the small time frames like the 4-hour to continue making bullish candles so we can continue moving bullish. Can we get this wick filled today? We shall wait and see what happens. What qualities should a good and sufficient trading education contain? I don't think that's a valid question. I think a question should be, what qualities should a student contain to make good use of the trading education he's about to get? Yeah, I think that's going to be that's got to be a pretty good question. Okay, what's this? Here, JPY. Sell when 30-minute kind of broke the previous low. Okay, close 50% when 15-minute close bullish. Excellent risk management. Close when price come back to my entry. Beautiful. Yep, beautiful. Someone is saying, EJ, stop please. I remember this one time I was running in drawdown and it was gold. It was gold sells and price was moving bullish, right? And I'm running in drawdown. This is like my 4th month trading. And gold keeps moving and I'm like, gold, please stop. Stop. Slow down. Kept moving.
Praying God.
Yeah, like please stop. And you know, like when you're looking at gold 1-minute candles and those 1-minute candles, they jump 10 pips, 15 pips, 20 pips. Oh man, that was a very stressful morning.
That's scary.
Oh.
But look at gold. It did exactly what Kerwin was saying. It rejected 1916. Didn't continue down, and I just popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Is $100 a day good gains on a $3,000 account? I think it's pretty good. I think you need to look around yourself and see how much people make on average around you. I think that's something that kept me going in the start, because I looked around. When I first started trading, the average person around me was making around $100 a day, $120 a day, working 8 hours a day, right? And if I could make even half of that in a fraction of the time, I considered myself extremely lucky. Man, if someone's making $100 working 8 hours, or $120, maximum $150, and you're there making $50 in, let's say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, man, that's powerful. You know, and then that means if you can do it once, you can do it 1,000,000 times over. But then it becomes a part of discipline. Like, if you made $50 in the first 15 minutes of your day, are you going to continue trading and risk to lose that money, or are you going to call it a day and come back the next day? That's something very important. So you need to look around you and see how well are people doing, and kind of like compare that to what you're doing.
Really, you think that's a good idea?
Oh, that's a great idea. What do you mean?
No, I'm asking.
Oh yeah, it's a great idea.
So gold, I think, is gonna hit 1922. I actually took a small entry.
Bro, that's like 8 pips away. Like, of course it's gonna hit 1922.
No, but I took an entry at 1917.
Very nice. Hold it.
Yeah, I think if we stay above 1920, it should come up to 1925.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's becoming easier to like see gold moving.
Yeah, it should come up to fill these wicks 1924 and then 1925. Strong resistance there. This 30-minute candle is about to close as well. It's pretty good. 15-minute as well coming up. Break down your profits by hour and you'll be shocked how much you're actually making per hour. Yes, that is true. That's true, very true. So far, I mean, I took one trade so far, and that trade was in the Asian session, which got stopped out at break even. So, yeah. So I only lost commissions. I'm sitting at negative $70 for today.
Oh, that's chilling.
Yeah, that was a buy I took in the Asian session. I think it was right over here.
That's so crazy. It's fine, Tamika. You stress it.
You stress it.
Yeah.
Stress it way too much.
Jesse.
So it was right over here. I took a buy here, anticipated price to move up. It moved up, put stops at break even, and it came down and stopped me out at break even.
Oh, so it was just commission.
Yeah, it was just commission.
Oh, I hit TP.
What?
Very nice, Macedonian.
1922. Yes, I like.
It should continue on here.
$200.
Frost. I got in a bit late, but I'm good.
Yeah, once it was past 1920, I was, it's just a matter of time.
It's gonna move like
1950
30,
was my entry.
30 more pips. GJ as well. GJ is also about to close. Once it closes bullish, we're gonna continue bullish. 137,200.
Okay. God damn. EJ stopped me out, but that retest to the previous 30-minute candle was crazy.
Yeah, also the 15 closed bullish.
Yeah.
So it was like...
It is what it is. For now, gold is the one that's moving very nice. 1924. Can we get 1924?
And we get the 1924. Yes. Nah, imagine it. I knew it was. Oh, look at that! It's just like dumping back and forth. Pa, 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 pa. That would give me such a such a huge anxiety attack.
So someone sent this chart here on US30. Enter after breaking the high of the previous candle. I think entering a buy above this gray area would be much better for price to continue up. This area here. Here New Zealand also ranging over here.
Ay, ay, ay. Let me drop. Another.
Are you in GJ? Nope. I am in no trades so far. I'm waiting for GJ to close above that area and see what happens.
And whoever took those EJ sells, and they're in drawdown right now.
EJ sells?
Yeah, that's what you get for copy trades.
Should continue down, to be honest. The thing is, I don't like the pullbacks, you know, and with the new hour opening, so I secure my trade break even. But right now, the way it's looking, you may have a big drop toward 124. That retest to the previous 30-minute candle was amazing. I didn't enter because I was paying attention to gold, but it should continue going downtown.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna drop a couple standard on this thing.
Oh wow. Gold retracing back. GJ also retracing back.
Okay, EJ, let's go.
Yeah, he's just the only one who's looking to move.
Yeah.
Kervin, you got in at the break of the 30-minute low. Or...
On EJ?
Yeah, you got in again.
No, on EJ, okay, on EJ I got 124, 256.
Oh, you got in again. Wow.
Yeah, okay, I just got in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this 30 minutes to close.
Yeah, I'm risking 10 pips. Stop loss is 124, 36.
Good.
It is what it is.
Oh, gold sells. Interesting.
Are you for real?
Yeah, it's a chart here. Oh.
Sales on gold? Oh my god.
Yeah, these ideas you will learn very quickly how bad the probability is for these ideas to work on a consistent basis. We got 2 minutes left for this candle to close. If we close above, I'm looking to enter. I mean, if we can close at like 137.060, something like there. Oh wow, it's a big stop loss.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Looking at the 1 hour. Well, to be fair, 1 hour broke the high over here. And if we do close above, I think the next 30-minute candles can continue moving bullish. And we can anticipate this volume in pre-New York, well, New York Open to continue it bullish.
Right. Well, you got 1 minute, so.
Yeah. We got 1 minute.
As long as it stays above 137, it should be good to like go up to 137, 200.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. So we just gotta wait. Gold is also closing above.
Yeah, EJ looks like it's gonna hang around that price for a little while.
If EJ closes below 25 on this 30-minute candle, I think it's good for a drop.
Yeah, the problem is I just noticed this 4-hour candle.
It's closing in 30 minutes.
Yeah, my sweet spot, it's 124, but on 4 hour, I see some sort of consolidation to the left-hand side on the 4 hours. So this 4 hour candle may reject the price where it is right now. It's something that you need to be aware of, because if I know some of you guys don't pay attention to the head and shoulder patterns, but
Yeah.
it's in the 1 hour is forming the head and shoulders. So you may have a quick move to the downside, but price it's about to hang around in that price. It's gonna be probably creating a small range, maybe 30 pips range.
It's
from
going to continue
120.
down here. 4
Yeah.
hour.
Okay. Gonna hold my position based on the idea, but
I think it's going to 17 around the area, at least.
It's going to be too big. Too big of a stop for price to move up to 137,200. But I do want to risk it. Yeah, around 16, 17 pips.
Biscuit for the biscuit.
Okay, risk it then.
Yeah, you got it.
Very
You got it, coach. You got it, coach.
Yeah, I think it should continue moving bullish here at this point. I'm pretty certain we should continue up towards 137,200. That's going to be the wick fill on the 4 hour here as well. Just got to pay attention to the stops. Ooh, gold is also continuing. Gonna wait a little bit. Man, this has been a very, very long wait.
Yeah.
Extremely long wait over here. All right, so entered a buy at this point. My stop is around 13 pips, right below the 15-minute candle, and I'm anticipating price to come up towards, 137,200. If this 15-minute candle starts breaking the low right over here, then I'm going to be closing 50% of my position, because then there's a probability it can continue down and, it can just continue bearish here. So that's something I'm going to keep in mind.
Very nice.
Yeah.
EJ is moving finally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
EJ
I've
is
got
moving
8
nice.
pips on EJ.
That's good.
So it's also looking at the 1 hour. 1 hour also broke above the high over here. It's respecting the previous low. It's making a higher low. It's making a higher high. And it's basically breaking above this area right over here. So I'm basically counting on that fact and the volume coming in New York session for price to continue bullish. Are you in a trade? No, right? Yeah.
No.
Come on, man. Wow. Now looking in hindsight, I think EJ was the move here for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should continue moving bearish here. See, whenever I'm in a trade, I'm always looking to see how I can manage risk, right? And I've talked about this a lot. Now, this candle here, if the 15-minute breaks the low, then I'm reducing 50% of my position. Because price can either go to take profit or it can come down to stop loss, right? And when it comes down to stop loss, you have to manage how you're going to act, how you're going to reduce risk at that point. And that's how you keep losses small. But if it continues up to profit, you're looking to maximize your profits. I think around 136,980, I'm going to close 50%.
This guy, he's asking about the trade on yen, and I'm like, I don't trade the Kiwi, right? Like on New Zealand. He's like, what's those Kiwi stand for? I don't know.
Kiwi?
Kiwi, a fruit, right?
All right.
Dragon?
Take a look at this here. Does seeing this not worry you buying before it close? Yeah, a little bit, which is why I'm really managing risk. So at this point, I closed 50% right over here. So it was also pretty risky here, but I still believe on the 1 hour that there was a reason it broke above over here. So now this 1 hour just needs to close above for it to continue moving bullish. But I've closed 50% of my position at this point here. And if this 15-minute candle closes bearish, then I'm closing everything. Because if it closes bearish, then it's closing below this resistance, and it just makes no sense to continue to be in this trade.
Oh, we got an explanation here. The national bird in New Zealand is called the kiwi, hence why the dollar is called a kiwi.
Yes. You ever seen a kiwi? We had a kiwi shoe polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, kiwi shoe polish.
I used them.
Oh, you use them? Oh, they have them in
Yeah.
America?
When I was in school, yeah.
Oh yeah.
With the brush and all this, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
That
I
was
remember. I remember that can.
Yeah.
I remember I used to throw that can around. Go polish your shoes. Never.
Yeah, if I threw the can around, I got a shoe thrown at me.
Sandal.
Yeah, can't throw the can around.
But after some time, it gets a lot dry. The can gets dry.
Yeah.
So you have to put some water in it.
Shoe polish gets dry. When a trade goes your way, you add positions. No. I mean, if we get this 30-minute candle closing above resistance, then I'm going to add a position. Right? Yeah, I think that's going to be a good point to add a position. If a 30-minute candle closes above this area. But so far, I had a position and I closed 50% once it came down towards the low over here. And the rest is still open now. Would you say this is one of the hardest months this year? I think October here, for the most part, like the first week was extremely hard. There was a lot of ranging happening. I mean, you also have to look at it this way, right? There are a lot of things happening too. You have lockdowns happening. You have a lot of Brexit talks happening. You have US elections happening. So October is a very, very volatile month. It's extremely, extremely difficult. When you say wait, you are waiting for the 30-minute candle to close? Yes. 30-minute candle to close above this resistance. I mean, if this 30-minute candle can close above resistance, then possibly I can add the risk I took off, and then we could move on towards 137.200. But if this candle closes below resistance, then I'm just going to close everything and call it a day. Then I'm going to call this as a non-trading day. And whenever you take a loss, don't take this day as a loss. That's not a losing day. That's a character building day.
There you go.
That's the character building day. You know, when we used to do door-to-door sales and we'd get no sales for like 3 days in a row, we used to listen to Les Brown, and my man Les Brown would say, "Don't be mad you got no sales today. It's a character building day. You're building character for all the positives to come. You're building characters through these thunderstorms." Yeah, it would really get us motivated, Les Brown.
Nice.
Used to listen to a lot of Les Brown, Eric Thomas. There was another guy.
Was there like a law of attraction?
No, it wasn't law of attraction. It was just like motivation to keep on going. Because like when you're doing door-to-door sales and you're only working on commissions, it's very easy to say that, you know what, this is not for me.
Oh,
But you got to keep on going. You got to keep on knocking the next door, the next door, the next door.
Someone's gonna answer.
Yeah, someone's gonna answer. You know, if someone answers, then that's a potential sale.
That's a prospect right there.
Yes.
You get that prospect, turn it into a customer.
Yeah, I don't think this was a pretty good trade to take over here, like the way it's moving. It's about to close in 4 minutes. If the 15-minute breaks its own low again, I'm just going to close the trade and I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, I think a much better trade was Euro JPY over here, the way it's moving. Getting kind of jealous over here, to be honest.
Carrier and Carwin.
Getting jealous of everyone who's in Euro JPY sells, and I'm stuck over here.
Yeah, GJ, I mean, you had the good idea, super good idea, but it's just rejecting.
EJ, finally.
Yeah. Like, I know Boris is giving a speech, and I hope he talks about Brexit just to piss off the EU, because that's what he always does. You know, he talks about Brexit to piss them off, and pound just rallies. Hey, early in my trading journey, but having a hard time. I was wondering if you guys experienced this, losing a lot of money, taking bad trades, etc. Yeah, and when I was losing like a lot of money and taking bad trades, it was only because I was overtrading. I mean, logically, if you look at it, the only way you're losing money is because you're overtrading. That's it. Logically, there's no other reason why you're losing money.
There we go.
Wow, look at this thing coming straight down.
And one tip, just look at the time you're taking the trades. The same setup can work at a certain time and don't work at another time.
Yeah, exactly. And I closed my trade right over here. I closed everything.
Damn, GJ's been hard.
Ooh, he profited EJ.
Yeah.
Great call, Kervin.
Very nice. Welcome to Profit Land.
Oh, beautiful. EJ, what's the trade here?
Yes.
All right, so basically GJ hit my stop loss right over here. Yeah, and your JPY hit TP for Kervin. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just manage my risk here, that's all. Ooh, Vantage FX website is back up. Yeah. I'm sending them a withdrawal today. I can't. Nah, there was a little anxiety over there when the website was down.
At least take out half.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I'm probably gonna leave in like, yeah, we'll see.
Leave them a tip.
Yeah, leave them a tip. Here you go. Distribute it.
Like when you win a hand poker, you know.
Yeah. Take profit
20%
here.
20% tip is good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
To be expecting to reach 123. Yeah, it could reach 123. So you're right. You're putting stops at break even. You're either like, you know, bring stops down into profit above this area over here. I've been slipped massively twice in the past 2 weeks. So over risk to get the money back, it not worked. Finding it hard to go back to risking 2% because I'll probably end this month in a big loss. Any advice, please? Yeah, you know what? If you got slipped twice, and you know, I know exactly where that happened, and it's just unfortunate, you know, and it's unfortunate. You just got to keep on going. The worst thing you can do is what you said. over risk to make those losses back. That's a big no-no. You just got to continue on. That's where discipline comes in. That's where it comes in, like how strong is your personality, right? Do you have a strong character to keep on saying that, okay, like, you know what, that was unfortunate, it wasn't supposed to happen, let me just continue on with my plan? Or you're like, oh man, I don't know about my plan, I don't know if my plan works or not. If you start thinking about if your plan works or not, even though you got slipped by a breaking news, that means you're not confident in your plan. You know, if your plan was bringing you up to profits, or if your plan was keeping you at break even, and that news basically put you down, then that's okay. You know, there was just news. No one could have anticipated that. I've been slipped on breaking news like that a lot of times. You know, and that's just a part of the game. But it's a good thing you were risking 2% instead of risking 5-10%, because that slippage on news would have been pretty bad.
Yeah, that GJ slip was nasty.
But at the same time, someone mentioned it in the Gulag chat here, and they said that funny. What's that? Oh.
Echo.
Oh. Why can I hear myself?
Racha.
Holy, what's going on over here?
You gotta mute certain guys.
Okay. Oh, okay. Makes sense. All right, let me mute people here. Yeah.
Raja, it's the market.
Yeah, someone said that it's funny that you need to. What was there? Funny how we need to be told what we already know. See, now that's the thing. Everyone knows not to overtrade, and every time I think it's good because like you get these like the repetitive commands like, hey, like, you know what, don't overtrade. We already know not to overtrade, but I think when someone tells you this on a consistent basis, it starts drilling in your mind that, okay, not over. Like a point comes when you take a loss and then you want to take a trade, and then you're like, okay, you know what, I don't need to take this overtrading trade. Maybe I just need to call it a day. That's the point where you should be reaching. I mean, I took a loss here, like I took a 5-pip loss. It is what it is. Now I'm going to come back the next day. But if this was me 3 years ago, I'd be like, no, guys, we got to make this loss back. You know, this is the market. We got to make this loss back in, and we're going to show GJ, this bitch, we're going to show GJ what's all about. No, that's not trading. That's immaturity in the market. You know, if you had an idea, you executed on the idea, it didn't work, you come back the next day. You don't try to avenge that trade. You don't try to overtrade. You don't try to make that loss back. Nothing. You know, you manage your risk. That's it. I mean, I had a 10 lot open over here, and I think I lost $500. You know, 5 pips. And everyone who was in here JPY, they won the trade over here. Yeah, I should have taken my own advice here, taking your JPY sells. but the thing is, I don't trade your JPY, so it didn't make sense for me to, like, you know, kind of like break my plan into something I don't. You can do anything you want when you sexy.
When you sexy.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know what song you want to add to the what sound effect? Have you ever heard the sound effect from Law and Order? The bum bum. Oh
no.
So when you lose a trade, it's gonna be like bum bum.
I think losing percentages in news which is unanticipated is like having a big loss in your business that you know it's going to take you a month to recover, 2 months to recover, but you're going to pull through it, right? Trading, it gets harder because the market is in front of you right over here, you know, and it's, yeah, so you just got to treat it the same way as your business.
Guys, I'm off. Thank you so much for today. Stay safe, stay strong.
All right, Yasser, take care in it.
Take care, mate.
Bye-bye, mate.
Are there many logistic companies in Canada? Yes. In hindsight, is that not a FOMO trade on GJ as sell was executed after a candle rejection from resistance? What sell was executed after that candle rejection? I don't see an execution of the sell. But oh. So basically my whole idea was that since it broke above over here, the 1 hour candle, I anticipated, and then I took the trade based on the 30-minute once it broke the high and came down. That's when I entered the trade. And I anticipated the 1 hour candle to close above this area, and then the next one can continue moving up. But I guess either I was too early or I was impatient in my execution over here. So if I had one trade to take today, I wasted that trade on that area right there. So this proves again, impulse entries are risky entries and it's better to wait for candle to close. So now I'm going to take that information into the next day. Right, so you got to stay disciplined. Ooh, looks like gold's going to tap 1925 here.
Yeah, if anybody's holding gold, hold it, because you may tap 1926. The way candles are forming right now, it's 1924 is already done so. So 1926 is a sensible target.
Man, we called 2 good moves today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gold.
I closed gold at 1924.
I called it too. I got in.
Very nice.
But I executed on the wrong move.
Damn.
EJ was perfect. 30-minute candle closed bearish trend.
Oh yeah, EJ was amazing.
Yeah.
Would you not give a second chance if we close above resistance? Yeah, I mean, if you close above this resistance on GJ, then I'm going to give it a second chance. But other than that, I'm just mentally ready to call it a day.
Yeah.
So we have 2,700 people here watching in the Gulag here. If the Gulaggers here, if you took profits on EJ or gold, give a like on the stream. If you took a loss on GJ, just don't do anything.
No, it's still give a like. let's just try to get this to 1,000.
Just don't do anything. But if you manage risk on GJ, then give a like on the stream. Otherwise, just don't do anything.
Stay quiet.
Yeah.
Very nice gold.
Oh, someone lost $1,000 on that trade, man. Even that. Oh yeah. Oh, someone's joking. Reach 125. What a move here on gold.
Very nice.
Yeah. Sheesh.
If Matt would have held from here at break even, nothing would have happened.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, someone's still in GJ buys.
Oh my god, look at gold.
Good luck.
Look at the 4 hour on gold, it's amazing.
Yeah. It is what it is.
4 hours also about to close over here. I think whoever's in GJ buys and you're just taking the trade because you think it's going to go up, but if you see it's closing below resistance, it doesn't make sense to hold the buy. Doesn't make sense at all. I mean, at some point we all got to use our brains and look at the technical levels and see where candles are closing in, just based on that. You know, there are a lot of people who said that they will change their habits in 2020, and their habits are the same as they were in 2020 and now we're moving in 2021. Oh wow, EJ is moving hard over here.
Yeah.
Wow. This was GJ yesterday, the way it's moving. Hey, is it advisable for my gold TP to be 3,000? Yeah, I think we can tap 3,000 by next year, August, September.
That was so random.
No, I'm serious. We can.
No, of course we can. I'm saying like, what's that gonna be in swaps?
Well, should be positive. Oh no, when you're buying gold, you're paying swaps. You're not earning swaps.
Paying swaps.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're paying swaps. You're paying swap fees.
You're gonna pay a lot of swaps. Swappity swap. Swap.
Yeah, this candle is about to close in 5 minutes, and look at this madness on GJ.
Yeah, if you are on EJ still, secure some profits because we are approaching to 124 flat. So you may have a big dip down and reject that area. So 124.10 was the first target. So we reached that. You should be already in dip in profits right now. Secure those profits, and you know what to do. Let the rest run, break even, close 50%, whatever you want to do, but secure profit. Don't let anything on the table for the market.
Bro, I'm here tripping out thinking EJ moved like 100 pips.
Oh no,
when
no,
I checked it, they moved
man,
10 pips. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Only 16
like, oh, what a
pips
move.
from my entry. 16
Yeah.
pips. It basically was 1-to-1 the risk reward.
No, I forgot how EJ moves.
No.
I'm like, oh my god, this thing is just flying.
Yeah, no. No. Yeah.
A little moment right there.
As for GJ, it's probably NYC open that's gonna be breaking that zone.
I mean, if you hope so, we could pray and pray that it breaks that zone.
Rakeel, we cannot hear you.
Oh, you're muted.
No, he's doing an Instagram story probably.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. We nail it.
Nice. I like.
Great call, Curvin.
Thank you.
Put the Law and Order thing. Pum pum.
Le dimos en el clavo, Mac.
Yeah, right on the foot. Nail.
Oh wow, GU is flying over here.
Flying, man.
Bro, GG is gonna do the same thing. It's just barely collecting contracts right now.
Yeah. Yeah, dollar, a lot of dollar weakness here.
Collecting contracts.
See, Poppy.
A lot of dollar weakness.
Weakness.
Tweakness. Dollar tweaks, doesn't weak. Pum pum.
Another New York session stream over here. We had 2,600 people, almost like 3,000 here.
Oh.
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Good story.
Yeah, it was a losing day for Raja Banks, but a winning day for the team who took sells on EuroJPY.
Very nice.
Buy some gold. Oh, someone won $2 today. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. That means you printed money out of thin air. I think making money from trading is like printing money from thin air. That's it. Can we get 600
Really
likes
is.
for free education? Yeah. It's amazing when you tell this concept to somebody else. Oh, wow. Straight bearish. Coming straight bearish. How'd you get the nickname Raja? Raja's my first name.
Raja the king.
Raja.
Where did you got Curvin, man?
From his
Where
mama.
did you got that name, Curvin?
Kerwin, well, apparently there were two options for my name. One was Santiago and the other one was Kerwin. So my father liked Kerwin better than Santiago.
Santiago is too common, right?
Yeah, well, not really in my country, but I had a uncle, which was his name was Santiago. So apparently my father didn't like my uncle.
Your uncle, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at
That's
this
the one
thing.
you're getting.
Yeah. Start ordering, Raja.
Wow. Is that an electric Hummer?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No
First
way.
all-electric super truck.
Electric Hummer. Like 10 years ago, I wouldn't even think of that.
0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
What?
Wow.
What this big machine?
Looks heavy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
wow.
heavy, man.
But has a better design than Tesla.
1,000 horsepower.
How much?
1,000.
1,000.
My truck's gonna look small beside that.
Wow, it's crazy. Oh man, look at this interior over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the design is better than the Tesla truck, to be honest.
Yeah, forget about the Tesla truck, man.
Yeah.
Look into
Yeah, it's got a dashboard, Rakeel.
starting at 99,000, 89,000.
Here we go. Now you know what to do with your Vantage effect withdrawal.
Holy.
Oh yeah, man. You can buy me one too.
But look at this.
100K. You can buy two, man.
Oh, it's
Buy me one too.
oh, it's for next year.
You can pre-order it,
But
right?
pre-order now.
Yeah, reserve yours.
Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna wait till that time because things can change.
I never liked Hummer before, but that one looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
Rakeel, buy a property, man. Don't spend 100K on a car.
No. Damn. Well, your JPY came all the way down. Yeah. Hey, is there a reason why you not wait for candle to close before entering your trades? Yes. So that was basically I was anticipating it to continue up, but it didn't, and that was it.
Well, at least we got what, 600 likes? No, not even. Damn. And 16 dislikes.
There we go.
Do
Yeah,
your
because
magic, Mac.
because we lost the trade, right? That's why.
Yeah.
Well, I lost the trade. There's no we. There you go. I'll give myself a like over there.
Oh my God, almost 600.
Make it better. Make it go to 1,000.
No, I don't think we're gonna get 1,000.
Oh, come on.
It's Rakeel's fault.
Yeah, all right, guys, I'm gonna head off over here. Your
Bye,
JPY ran really good, thanks to Kervin. Gold also ran really well.
Thanks to Mac.
Thanks to Mac, yeah, thanks to Mac, and GJ is just stuck.
Thanks to Rakeel.
Yeah.
Thanks to Rakeel.
Thanks to Raja, we lost the trade on GJ.
It was wild, like a crazy pony,
Like I'm pretty sure it's gonna break at like 9:30 or after that.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get, man, the amount of messages I get. Hey Raja, did you see GJ now? I'm like, man, I know. Don't tell me about it.
All right, bye.
All right, take
care.
care, everybody.
Okay, my friend.
We really got scammed here today.
I'm gonna set an alert on EGJ 137.11, and let's see what happened later on.
All right. Adios, amigos.